both food and non-food perspective, we see an upward trend with food inflation inching up by 0.8 percentage points between June and July 2023, and non-food inflation increasing by 0.4 percentage points from 33.4 in June 2023 to 33.8 in July 2023. Disaggregating further from a locally produced item and an imported item perspective, we find an 8.2 percentage point difference between inflation for imported items and inflation for locally produced items, with imported items recording an inflation rate of 45.7% and locally produced items 37.5%. Further disaggregating year-on-year inflation from a regional perspective, the Northeast region recorded the highest rate of 64.0%, and the Greater Accra region recorded the lowest rate of 31.8%, indicating about a 2-time difference between these two regions, that is the Northeast region and the Greater Accra region. On a month-on-month basis, we saw that month-on-month inflation inched up by 0.4 percentage point, 3.2 for June 2023 and 3.6 for July 2023. Disaggregating this from a food and non-food perspective, food inflation on a month-on-month basis was 3.8% and non-food inflation on a month-on-month basis was 3.4%.
That was Professor Samuel Kobina Enim. He's a government statistician telling us how food and beverages are becoming expensive by the day. And the question we're asking this morning is, are we able to feed ourselves? Is Ghana able to feed ourselves? And I'm asking this question based on the perspective that Christmas is coming. Omawa has just gone by. But some people will still organize a few, private homework parties here and there. The Cape Coast folks, my folks in Cape Coast, are doing the Ogwa fashion. Ogwa Koto, Ogwa Den Wanyobi. Then, the other festivals will come across. Ogbechocho in October later. It's all food related and food centered, if you ask me. The conversation is that, are you able to feed yourself? And if you're able to feed yourself, how much does it cost to feed yourself? The concept of backyard gardening, the concept of state farms, will it stop our insatiable desire for importing a lot of things into this country? Because without food, we cannot survive. Somebody sent me a video of an unemployed university graduate who is depressed and now doing drugs. Quite unfortunate. Let's hear a bit of his story, and then we will get into one or two more voices, and then we'll get a chance to hear from you again. I ask you, are you able to feed yourself, and what do we do to be able to feed ourselves?
What do you do?
I was working with a financial institution, but they closed it down, so now things are very bad.
Can you tell me the type of that
Citizens Capital.
So what, after that, what are you doing?
After that, I was driving a little bit, but I wasn't going according to what I wished for.
So now you just home.
I sit at home. Sometimes I depend on mom, but it's not easy. How long can you depend on her? How long?
But you are brilliant.
So that's what I'm saying. I've written applications to several institutions. Nothing is happening now.
So you mean? I was
paying my SNIT, everything. I made investment at NDK. NDK has closed now. My money is stacked. So can you imagine what's going on now? So it's not easy.
So due to that, do you think what you are in now will help you?
It's causing depression to me.
So that depression has caused you to, get involved in this?
Yes, of course. I won't lie to you, and it's not going to help me. So I always cry early in the morning. When I wake up, I cry in me. I pray to God that things will be better for all of us to solve our problems, because it's not easy for all of us.
And who introduced you to this?
Who introduced me? Through my depression.
Come on. Okay, Okay.
This is Community Connect with Johnny Hughes on 3FM 92.7.
And he says depression. See, he was working. The banking sector collapsed. Microfinance, 347 of them, you remember, they were shut down. And the rest, as they say, is history. He has written applications, he can't find a job. So he's depressed. Now, that's a concern of many young people, including some old people that we engage with every now and then. How did we get to the point where, as a country, even to find food to eat is a problem? Because I travel around the country, around North Kaneshie and those Kaneshie and Bubuashi and Kwashima areas. Sometimes you see a small patch of land. It's supposed to be by the roadside. Somebody has planted maize there and it has germinated. So it's not as if our land is not fertile. It's not as if our people are lazy. I want to understand how we got here and what we are doing to get out of where we are from a community perspective. Because increasingly food has become very, very expensive. I was telling somebody yesterday that we could buy in the past, not so long ago, in the past around 2017, 2018, you could buy a whole bowl of banku with soup and meat and fish from a woman who sells just around here. We'll activate the phone lines shortly. How do we feed ourselves? Are we able to feed ourselves very, very soon? Listen to the new Agric Minister, Mr. Brian Champon, at the launch of Planting for Food and Jobs Part 2. Listen to him.
For Food and Jobs Phase 1 to food security and resilience, with a focus on the entire value chain. Mr. President, you also demanded a turnaround of the tree crop subsector with a focus on the cocoa farmers' share of the cocoa revenue. And finally, you demanded a drastic import substitution program directed at reducing our over-reliance on food imports. On assumption of office, a thorough analysis of the sector revealed huge potentials, which, when well exploited, could lead to the achievement of the objectives set by His Excellency the President. Our assessment of the PFJ Phase 1 also confirmed that a lot of successes had been achieved in the areas of utilization of fertilizer, acceptance and adoption of improved seeds, as well as the adoption of good agronomic practices by farmers. It was also established that if we could properly utilize the existing irrigation schemes deployed by government, we will significantly improve food production for some critical crops such as rice, onion, and tomato.
92.7.
For example, Mr. President, your government, having committed over 1.2 billion Ghana cedis for irrigation infrastructure in the northern regions alone, I see no justification for the current state of high import of vegetables from the sub-region, in spite of the huge potential for all year-round production. Mr. President, in a recent meeting with the onion importers plying the Niger route, it was disclosed to me that on average, an amount of $2 million was spent weekly to import onions. I deem this as an embarrassment and a needless drain on our scarce foreign exchange. It was, however, refreshing to me when they disclosed their willingness to convert their import trade to local production and trading on our irrigation schemes. Mr. President, when it comes to the production of rice, the data shows that it has improved from 667,000 metric tons in 2016 to 1,190,000 metric tons in 2022. Unfortunately, more than half of the paddy we produce is shipped out of the country, depriving local processors of access to raw materials. Indeed, we recognize the unavailability of large processors with the financial wherewithal to procure and process the paddy. This we shall fix. Mr. President, the above are examples of the potentials and bottlenecks that can easily be harnessed to the benefit of our food security and resilience agenda. Mr. President, in dealing with the wider potentials, the Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2 has been designed as a bold, innovative, and comprehensive approach to tackle head-on the hurdles on our food security journey. The underpinning model, which is the input credit system, will solve a number of critical challenges, namely access to credit, quality of agro inputs, the unstructured markets of our agricultural produce, and low mechanization, among others. Indeed, when we rolled out the program in full, one will no longer need to mobilize upfront financing for land development and preparation, as well as seeds and fertilizer. This is very important. Mr. President, land development, seed, and fertilizers constitute about 80% of production cost. I make bold to predict that with the new slogan for agriculture going forward will be PFJ 2.0.
That was Honorable Brian Champon. He's our Minister for Agric at the launch of Phase 2 of Planting for Food and Job.
Mr. Minister of Labor, you better see and cut all the prices down. Prices soaring high and high, I guess that they are going to reach the moon. Prices soaring high and high.
3FM 92.7. Lifestyle radio station.
That's what we call inflation calypso. As E.T. Mensa, the legendary, and the Temples Band, bringing you some music from back in the day, and they spoke truth to power through their art. These days, people are just singing about loves and the cares of women, and only a few people are talking about the real issues. But listen to Mr. Charles Nyaba. He was with the Peasant Farmers Association. His reaction to what the minister said. Listen to him. Listen to Mr. Nyaba.
Challenges are addressed. Access to credit is one of the major challenges facing farmers. Now, you look at the PFJ1, the concentration was only supplying farmers with subsidized fertilizer and seed. And subsidized component was even negligible. It was not actually making much difference between the market price and that of the subsidized price. Now, the other challenge we face with the PFJ1 has to do with quality of fertilizer and seeds that were supplied under the PFJ1. Most of the contractors that were engaged under the PFJ1, they were just supplying anything. After all, whether farmers take it or not, they also get payment from Ministry of Finance. So it was a serious challenge, and some of us submitted recommendation to this minister and recommended that the PFJ1 should actually be reviewed. Land development is one area that is discouraging youth and women from going into new farming, because just like the minister mentioned, my own engagement with land developers. To develop an acre, you need not less than 10,000.
10,000 cedis. Now, if you're a peasant farmer, where are you going to raise 10,000 cedis from? So I asked the question again this morning. Are we able to feed ourselves beyond the rhetorics, beyond the slogans, beyond the campaigns, beyond screaming atop the roof, on top of our lungs? Are we able to feed ourselves? Are you able to feed yourself? Are you able to afford food? I'll go back to that anti-filet analogy. Not so long ago, 2017, 2018, you could buy a whole bowl of banku with tuna and salmon and wele and meat, and sometimes even crab. And those who go there, they know. Those are GBC, our friends here at TV3, our friends at the ISD, and the places we live around here, but what do you call it? Prudential Bank. We all go there. 8 CDs, 12 CDs, 10 CDs. You could buy food. These days, if you don't have 20 CDs, forget about it. If you don't have 25 CDs. So imagine if you are earning, say, 800 CDs, and every day you come to work and you have to spend 20, 25 CDs on lunch. Do the calculus. Add your transportation, add your rent, add water, add your tithes, add your Friday night chilling, add all those things and the pressure from family, and tell me if you can survive. So now I hand over the microphone to you. 055-924-2717. Talk 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Are you able to feed yourself? If you are not, what are you doing about it? What can we do together as a country from your community's perspective? Good morning,
Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is real Ajana 1.
Ajana 2.
Johnny, I am wondering if Mr. Brian Achapo and the president themselves are listening to themselves.
Oh.
We sank close to $1 billion every year into PSG. Gary has moved from Gario, the common one. Mm-hmm. When there is no hope, you can run for a cover.
That's right.
It has moved from 6 CD to 30 CD. Johnny, where we've gotten to, what I am saying is very simple. The clergy, they shouldn't wait for the fire to start. Then they ask us to go and declare 1 month prayer. Mm-hmm. Now, they should start talking to authorities, the powers that be, that they have failed for, and they don't know what's up, they don't know what is happening. Johnny, at that time, I'm sure we'll be disturbing God for nothing. What is happening now? The government has failed so the clergy, moral society, they should rise up and start to talk now. Johnny, good morning to you.
Good morning, thank you very much. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Good work you're doing this morning.
Thank you.
Honestly,
your name and location, please.
I'm calling from Syntex.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Johnny, you see now.
Hello, your line is cracking. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said that, Johnny, now you have to be very, very strategic in your eating. I used to eat my 3 square meals every day, but for some time now I eat once a day. And yes, because one, I lost my job 2 years ago. You send applications here and there, nobody's manning you. You get some movements, the money comes, you have to feed family, you have to feed home. Right now, my wife is basically the one who is feeding us at home. And you have to, strategize your eating, or else you may not eat the next day. So these guys, these jargons that they say PFFJ, 2 and all those, they see, they are moving, it's like moving autopilot. We know that they are failed. They also know that they are failed. But there's nothing that they can do. So they'll just come and throw jargons at us. But with the youth, we are watching them closely because we know that our Kokomoti will work come 2024.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Yes, sir. Yeah, Mani Papa Blabo.
Are we able to feed ourselves?
That's the question I asked.
This morning, 5 cities for myself. Nothing but Coco and Kose. Same for my 2 boys. They are going to school. They are paying 10 cities each. They took snack. When they return from school, they'll eat. When they return in the evening, they are going to eat. This is about 70 cities or 60 cities every day. No matter how the individual is going to fall, whether we like it or not, government has to come in. But what they need to do is to take their invisible evil hands off plans or projects. Once you set the pace and the people are following, just let it roll. We should stop sloganeering and putting things become like impediments to look at it. Oh, the president, the vice president, the politicians love us. It's not about them. All what we are fighting for, Johnny Akeya, we will leave everything here on earth. I say that when the black man steals, he wants to better his family and himself. But when the white man steals, he wants to see the world become beautiful so that his name will be mentioned, that he beautified the world. That's the difference.
Okay.
Corruption is everywhere, but we should make sure that the lives of the people are put first and foremost. It's not about what you get, how many cars you park at your garage at home. We should stop this.
Thank you.
We can do it.
Thank you very much, my brother. Daniel, good morning.
Yes. Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
I'm back.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
I just came from Wachi joint. And then if you want to buy Wachi at Dansuma right now, you don't hold like 30 Ghana cedis. You can't buy Wachi.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
But the vice president bought 2 packs of Wachi with a QR code for how much?
It's never true. Because if you buy Wachi, now 2 spoon is like 5 cedis. And the spoon, when you look at it, if you give it to 2-year baby, you will finish it within 30 seconds. Things are really difficult in this country. Dansuma, those days, Dansuma, things are expensive. And now that the economy has subjected us to abject poverty, things are really difficult. If you want to buy everything regarding to eat a good Wachi, you have to spend like 30 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
They should stop the sloganeering, and then they should be asked to work. They should be asked to work. If planting for food and job has produced food in a stock, should we be suffering this way? Should we be suffering buying food at 30 Ghana cedis a breakfast? Johnny, things are really difficult. The president should listen to us more. He should tell his ears, the best ears to ask more. Please, we are begging the president.
Thank you.
He should do something before he leaves power.
Thank you very much. Grateful. Fatal, good morning. Assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Kawula.
Yes,
I greet my people affect everybody, chairman. I think, Johnny, the government mantra JM says is quite working. I tell you, I every day eat gobe before I leave, because that one you can spend like 16 series, 17 series, and you are good to go. Although it's not plenty though, but you'll be drinking water. Then you can imagine that someone who wants a balanced diet, okay, and now all what you can do is that gobe. How do we survive? I tell you a day. Look, yesterday I do Okada. Yesterday I bought about 5 liters before I was able to do my rounds. How much did I earn? 150 cedis. Was it 45 or so? Then how much will I eat? How much will I pay my student school fees? How much will be left for me? You can imagine this. So we are just dying. They are saying food is easy and common. We should be fighting against getting plantain and yam and other blah blah. These are the common food we should be fighting for. And let's make that there's food in abundance. But what are we seeing? You want to go and do planting for food and job. The phase one, what do we see? We didn't see anything. But you tackle yourself that, everything is working. We've gotten planted abundance of food. No, it's lie. It's never true. Why are we blackmailing ourselves like that?
Okay.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much. Grateful. And you can also call us 055-924-2717. That's 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-691-0154. Are we able to feed ourselves?
Hello?
Good morning. Yes, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, Mr. John. I'm fine. I'm very well.
Yes, boss. What's your
Anytime
name?
I listen to you, I feel so happy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
Mr.
for
Johnny,
listening. Yeah.
it seems like the whole country is like a school now. If you want to learn how to survive, just come to Ghana and come and learn this course.
You said what? The whole country is like a school. If you want to survive, you have
If
to
you
come
want
to
to
Ghana to
survive,
learn.
you want to learn that course, just come to Ghana. You learn all those things. Johnny, right now, I'm in MPP man's house right now. And I'm feeling how people are. Then I'm like, so right now, if I'm not in this house right now, how will I be feeling outside by this time? Because if they send me to go and buy things, how the thing is expensive, how costly the thing is outside there. Then I was asking myself, so like I'm not in the house, and I'm available to all these kind of maybe these small things. How will I be doing outside there? So the country, Johnny. So I feel pity for those who are not in MPP's people's house right now. I mean, I'm lucky I'm one of them. I'm with them. So
Okay.
I'll say I'm surviving how I'm managing it. So I'm happy for that.
I hear you.
But the next 2024 coming, they should think. They should think. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The real stories, the real issues, the real communities. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Johnny.
Yes, sir, Papa.
Johnny.
Are you able to feed yourself?
It's serious, very, very serious. Even when I talk about myself and I relate it to others that don't have anything, I feel so sad, my brother. National farming is the way to go. How do we go about that? To get more food, we need to tell this man to reduce the size of his government so that we can invest those money into farming. You see that John Mahama, His Excellency John Mahama, the visionary leader, in opposition is even ruling Ghana right now. Am I lying? He talked about, when it comes to government, he's going to speak to the Article 71 office holders. Moving something. Quickly, so that we can get money to feed ourselves. Quickly, your man, Opana, President Nanado, what has he done now? He has appointed some people to see to that aspect. After appointing those people to see to that, we want him to reduce the size of his government so that we can get money by saving the public first so that we can get money into the national farming.
All right, thank you. We're grateful. KB.
Hello, John.
Yes,
Johnny.
my brother. Good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Where are you calling us from, please?
Johnny.
Yes, sir.
As for the feeding, please stop.
KD, you have to reduce the volume on your radio set so that we can hear you through the phone.
Thank you.
Welcome, brother.
Because some of us are not working and we have to depend on our wives. It's not easy. You wake up, you even feel pity for your wife. You have a kid, You are sick. Your wife has to feed you, give you money for medicine and everything. It's not easy at all.
3FM 92.7.
At all. At the moment, I can't work again.
Oh, sorry.
I have to be in the house. And you wake up, even to ask your wife for money, you can't.
Yes, it's embarrassing.
Because you are aware that the system is hard.
3FM
Thank you.
Keep safe and keep well. I'm sure we can find a way around this. The president earlier said that we are a net exporter of food. Or I didn't hear him. Well, maybe let's listen together, shall we?
It is a transformational step that we have taken, which should quicken the pace of development all round and give us confidence in our future. In 2017, it appeared to some like the same old refrain when we said farmers and agriculture would get the highest priority. But we can see the difference it makes when a government treats farmers with respect and spends resources and expertise on agriculture. We have seen the dramatic turnaround of our agricultural fortunes due to the progressive policies that have improved the living standards of farmers in the country. The excellently executed policy for planting for food and jobs has laid the foundation for the agricultural transformation of our country. We are able to say that our country is now a net exporter of food, and we no longer have to import basic foods like plantain and tomatoes.
That was President Akufo-Addo in 2021 delivering the State of the Nation address that Ghana is a net exporter of food. Not exactly correct. Wow. Yeah. We're still a net importer of food, actually. Because when Niger decided to close its borders because of the coup d'etat, it's reflected in the prices of the onions in the market that we eat on a regular and a daily basis. Are we able to feed ourselves? This morning, I want you to think about it. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. You see the calls that are coming in. The real life stories. Men who are now depending on their wives, not because they want to be lazy, but because their jobs are just not there.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, madam. How are you?
I'm fine.
Great. What's your name?
Serena.
Trina. Okay. And Trina, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling because there's so much hunger in the country.
Oh. Trina, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Wow. Don't worry. We'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Trina. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir. Cliff, how are you?
Yeah, I'm cool. How are you?
I'm greater than Accra. Talk to me, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Johnny, I think we should not even talk about being able to feed ourselves or anything like that. You know, even if you can feed yourself and then you have a lot of family dependent on you, it is still like you cannot feed yourself, because assuming that if you have 4 people on you on your own salary, how are you going to feed yourself with them? And this government doesn't even see anything wrong with that. You know, a lot of us earn money, but at the end of the day, you use the money on food, and you can't even do anything. I'm gonna, like, you know, days back, you could use your money that you earned, build something, buy whatever you want to buy, and still feed. And now it's just on feeding water. What kind of Ghana are we living in today? And the president seems not to care about those kind of things. You know, this government, forget, if we don't just stop it here, you end up by ending somewhere. Good morning.
Good morning. Don't say what you want to say. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Johnny.
Yes, boss. How are you, sir?
How are you doing? I'm blessed.
Well, I'm greater than Accra.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, Johnny, you see, we live in a country that things are not the way. Even we citizens, we are not being treated fairly. Our own people, our own politicians. How can a citizen, how can you be a black man or an African working in China and you use the Chinese people and you be outsourced by a Ghanaian firm who is a third party over there to recruit a Chinese and working for a Ghanaian company? And this is something that happened to me. I was talking about it. Look, someone earns a basic of 1,000 cedis, and the person is paying an income tax of 157 point something.
Can you imagine?
And I'm talking about it. I don't have a TIN number. Where is my income tax going? Someone has a basic of 400 cedis, and the person is paying an income tax of 100 cedis. And I was asking these Chinese people, why is it so? They said I'm talking too much. The next few days, they terminated my contract. And that's it. I went to the human rights. I wrote to them. Do you know what they told me afterwards when I went there several times? They told me it's legal for them to terminate my contract. And I said, okay, write to me. The human rights, those people, my Ghanaian people, they told me I can tell them what to do.
Wow.
Is it the way to live in a country? So if we pray whatever is happening in the Francophone country is supposed to happen in Ghana, and these soldiers must go into their houses and see the amount of money they are holding in there. Any house that these people have, let's see what the money they are holding in there. Why are they doing this to the future and the youth? I can go and steal. Right. I can go and pick guns and rob. I can't do that.
Right.
But my sister, maybe she might be frustrated and end up prostitution. You nothing works.
The young ladies are these days are doing hookup.
Yes.
Yeah, they're trading sex for money.
Come on, it's so sad. Sometimes if you are a loon, you cry for the nation. Look, what Nkrumah did, nobody. Look, the motorway was built and when I was not even born, but now I can drive on the motorway and see the eclipse of the initial motorway that Nkrumah did. Now look, nothing works. Nothing. We need a revolution. We need a revolution. What's happening in the front? We pray. That is my prayer.
We need a revolution of our minds, not a revolution with guns and arms.
But Johnny, it's so painful. It's so painful. We can do nothing. Our institution will just spit on your face like you are nothing. Go to hell and die.
Thank you for calling us.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
Passion being shown there, but we don't need a revolution with guns. We need a revolution of our minds. We need to renew our minds. Now we can't pick any more calls. We have to make way for Black Rasta, the Urban Blend show team. Yeah. Look, I'm going to do a Black Rasta intro right now. Immediately I saw him, the chair started to bounce.